Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever stopped to think about how fleeting time is? Each second ticks by, whether we use it or waste it. Life doesn't wait for us to be ready. The clock keeps moving. So the question is, are we moving with it? Clarity is where it all begins. Imagine stepping into a forest with no path, no compass, and no sense of direction. You might wander for hours, days, or even weeks, never finding your way out. That's what life feels like without clarity. It's easy to feel overwhelmed, stuck, or even defeated when you don't know exactly where you're headed or what you want to achieve. When you're clear on your goals, your mind becomes like a laser, focused, sharp, and powerful. You can cut through distractions and doubts because you know what you're aiming for. But clarity isn't just about knowing your destination. It's about understanding the route to get there. What steps are required? What resources do you need? Who can help you? When you ask these questions, you start to see the big picture more clearly. Think of clarity as the foundation of a building. Without it, the structure wobbles and falls apart. With it, everything you build on top becomes stable and strong. People often underestimate how much time they lose because they haven't taken a moment to define their goals. They work hard, but their energy is scattered in too many directions. They're busy, but they're not productive. Clarity simplifies everything. It gives you a roadmap so you can allocate your energy wisely. Instead of spinning your wheels or second-guessing yourself, you can move forward with confidence. Discipline is the cornerstone of progress. It's the engine that drives everything forward. Without discipline, even the best intentions fall flat. You can have the most detailed plans, the most ambitious goals, and the most ambitious goals, and the most ambitious ambition. But if you lack the discipline to act, none of it matters. Procrastination, on the other hand, is a silent thief. It sneaks in disguised as comfort, disguised as logic. I'll start tomorrow, we tell ourselves. Next week is a better time. And so we push the work aside, believing that there will always be more time. But here's the hard truth. Procrastination doesn't just steal your time, it steals your potential. Every moment you delay is a moment you could have used to get closer to your goals. Discipline is what keeps you moving even when you don't feel like it. It's about showing up when it's inconvenient, putting in the work when the excitement has worn off, and staying consistent when no one is watching. Discipline is not glamorous. It's waking up early to tackle your priorities. It's saying no to distractions even when they're tempting. It's choosing long-term success over short-term gratification. What makes discipline powerful is that it builds momentum. The first time you say no to procrastination and take action instead, you feel a sense of accomplishment. That feeling fuels your desire to keep going. Discipline grows stronger the more you practice it, but it's a muscle you have to build. No one starts perfectly disciplined, but anyone can develop it with effort. Procrastination, however, works the opposite way. The more you indulge it, the stronger it becomes. Every time you delay, it gets easier to justify the next delay. Before you know it, days turn into weeks, weeks into months, and you're still standing in the same spot. It creates a cycle of regret and frustration, a constant sense of being behind. Momentum is one of the most powerful forces in life. It's like a train starting on the tracks. At first, it moves slowly, inch by inch, requiring a tremendous amount of energy just to get going. But once it picks up speed, it becomes unstoppable. The same is true for our goals and actions. Starting might feel difficult, even overwhelming, but once you gain momentum, things begin to flow naturally. The beauty of momentum lies in its compounding effect. When you take the first step, no matter how small, you create a ripple that grows larger with every action. The key is not to wait for motivation, it's to take action first. Motivation often comes after you've started, not before. Think about it. Have you ever noticed how once you begin cleaning one corner of a room, you suddenly feel inspired to clean the whole space? That's the magic of momentum at work. Momentum creates confidence. Each small win builds upon the last, making you believe in your ability to achieve even more. When you see progress, even if it's minor, it reinforces the belief that what you're doing is working. That belief fuels you to keep going. But it all starts with taking that first step, no matter how hesitant or unsure you feel. The tricky thing about momentum is that it can work against you if you're not careful. Just as positive actions build momentum towards success, negative habits can create momentum in the wrong direction. It's like the goal isn't the goal. Sometimes the goal is the tiny little things that create a marginal benefit that eventually becomes irremarkable, that eventually become real, that become the foundation for your success, your real results. Momentum isn't about making huge leaps every day. It's about stacking small victories. It's about showing up and doing your best in the moment, knowing that each step forward brings you closer to your goal. Even when progress feels slow, remember that momentum is building behind the scenes, ready to carry you further than you imagined. Time is the most precious resource we have, yet it's the one we often take for granted. It's invisible, intangible, and irreversible. Once it's gone, there's no getting it back. That's why understanding the value of time is crucial. Every day we're given 24 hours, a gift, a blank canvas. But how we choose to use those hours determines the direction of our lives. Think about it. Every second that passes is a second we can never reclaim. The opportunities of today won't necessarily be there tomorrow. The dreams you keep postponing, the skills you've been meaning to learn, the relationships you've been wanting to nurture, they all exist in the framework of time. And time doesn't wait for us to decide we're ready. It keeps moving forward, with or without our permission. There's a tendency to believe that we have all the time in the world. I'll get to it someday, we tell ourselves. But someday is not a day of the week. Someday is the illusion that keeps people stuck, waiting for the perfect moment that never comes. If you're not intentional about your time, it slips away quietly, leaving you with regret and what-ifs. The truth is, the clock is always ticking. It doesn't matter how rich, powerful, or talented you are, no one can buy more time. And that's what makes it so precious. What are you doing with your hours, your minutes, your seconds? Are they spent on things that truly matter, or are they being wasted on distractions and delays? Time is also the great equalizer. We all have the same 24 hours in a day, yet some people accomplish so much while others struggle to make progress. The difference lies in how they prioritize and act. Those who succeed understand that time is their most valuable asset, and they treat it as such. They don't squander it on meaningless activities or wait for motivation to strike. They take action now, knowing that every moment counts. What makes time so challenging is that it's easy to overlook. It slips through our fingers like sand, and we often don't realize its value until it's too late. The hours we waste binge watching, scrolling aimlessly, or procrastinating are hours we could have invested in building something meaningful, creating something lasting, or becoming something greater.